Wait a second! You mean you went alone?
Hey guys, it's Ryan from Arcade Nova, and today I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the final 4 DLC characters within Smash Ultimate. I do want to start off by saying that none of these predictions are necessarily set in stone. These aren't like my absolute, definitive, these are the characters that I think will be in the game. However, all of them do have proper reasoning and backing up of logic and such and blah blah blah. So anyways, let's get into the fucking video. The release of Final Fantasy VII marked a revolution of the role-playing genre in Western territories. Because of this, Master Hero Samurai came through with Cloud Strife as a fucking playable character in Smash 4, which was within itself a milestone for the franchise. His game, Final Fantasy VII, had never even been released on a Nintendo console before, yet here he was duking it out with his fellow gaming legends. And because of all this, Cloud's inclusion blew people's fucking minds.
You're kidding me! Holy God! How's this Smash Brothers? What? Oh, no! Holy shit! Oh!
To most people living outside of Japan, the term RPG has an immediate association with Final Fantasy. While Final Fantasy still sells incredibly well within the land of the rising sun, Square Enix has another series of RPGs that is even more mutually beloved within Japanese culture, and that franchise is Dragon Quest. If there is any character that I believe is an absolute lock for Smash Ultimate DLC, it's a Dragon Quest character. More specifically, Erdrick from Dragon Quest III. He comes from the original trilogy of games and is one of the more popular and recognizable protagonists from the series. With there being several Dragon Quest games already on the Switch, and at least 2 more already confirmed to be coming this year, the series could use a major push from Nintendo in the West. And Smash is the best fucking way they could do it. While many Westerners will bitch about having another anime swordsman in their Smash Bros, they can at least shut the fuck up about Goku, as this is probably the closest he will ever be to being in Smash. It's common knowledge, but the character designer for DQ is that of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. So yeah, I think a Dragon Quest rep is very likely, and it's almost surprising that it hasn't happened already. While I believe that Dragon Quest is one of the last major Japanese franchises that has yet to be represented in Smash, there are still a metric shit ton of games which possess characters that are worthy of being among the roster. The horror genre is one that has yet to be properly represented in Smash, aside from the new Assist Trophy for Yuri Kozuta from Fatal Frame, as well as smaller bits such as the Spirit from Nintendo's own Eternal Darkness. However, there is a particular horror franchise which is renowned by many, and has a fairly healthy history on Nintendo platforms. In 1996, the survival horror genre had reached new heights, with the birth of the Resident Evil series. The best character choice to represent Resident Evil within Smash is no doubt Leon Scott Kennedy. Not only is he a fan favorite, but he is one of the more prominent main characters within the series. While the character was originally received in Resident Evil 2, his more popular design comes from his iteration of the critically acclaimed Resident Evil 4, which appeared on both the GameCube and the Wii and is also receiving a Switch port sometime this year. On top of that, the character is particularly relevant right now with the recent release of the Resident Evil 2 remake. And while said game has no announced plans of coming to the Switch anytime soon, it does not change the fact that Nintendo would still benefit from this relevancy if they so choose to put Leon in the game. It is in Nintendo's best interest to capitalize on this limelight, and it is made all the easier by the fact that Capcom is already on board with Smash Ultimate. Castlevania received what is possibly the strongest representation of any third-party series in Smash history. Not only was it the first third-party series to receive 2 playable characters, it also received an entire area dedicated to the franchise in World of Light, as well as tons of music, spirits, etc. This seemingly solid relationship between Nintendo and Konami could help warrant them a DLC rep. We already know that Sakurai likes to throw us random-ass retro characters every once in a while, and I believe that there is a character that fits this criteria perfectly, assuming Konami and Nintendo were to give Sakurai this option. If you do not already know, Twinbee is a series of shoot-'em-ups by Konami which dates all the way back to 1985 on Nintendo's own Famicom. It's a fairly popular series by shmup standards and has even received several titles outside of the shooter genre, including a puzzle game, a platformer, and even a full RPG. While the player's ship in Twinbee possesses the same name of the franchise itself, the pilot of said ship goes by the name Light. I believe that a character from this franchise would somehow incorporate both of these characters within a singular moveset. While Light could do things like throw out regular punches, Twinbee could pop in for projectile attacks and varying things of that nature. I don't know if I could lay out a proper moveset for these characters, but I'm confident that Sakurai could. Not only would this character have major surprise factor, it would also be the first ever representative of the shoot-'em-up genre in Smash. So while it may seem like a bit of a random pick, I believe that is exactly why this character could work. I don't necessarily believe this character will be in, though I do believe that at least one reveal is going to be some crazy character that nobody could have expected. So instead of just picking insert random prediction here, I decided to choose a character that I believe makes sense, even if its likelihood is not particularly high. I believe that at least one of the final DLC picks will be a character that has high fan regard, and one of the most requested characters from the Smash ballot that is yet to enter the game is Banjo and Kazooie. While the Banjo-Kazooie franchise is probably dead at this point, I think this character has a lot of things going for them anyway. While Nintendo had originally owned the rights to the series, being the owner of its developer Rareware, said company was bought out by Microsoft in 2002 at the beginning of the Xbox/GameCube era. With that being said, Banjo would technically be Microsoft representation within the game, which would definitely be a big way to end off the DLC hype cycle. Also, the Bird-Bear duo would have a moveset that would translate perfectly to Smash, though it wouldn't be unfair to say that Duck Hunt did seem to steal some of their potential. It's also likely that if Microsoft is to receive any content in the game, that it comes in the form of Steve from Minecraft, as he obviously has much more mainstream appeal and would greatly market Smash towards kids. So I guess it really comes down to whether they want to satisfy old fans or try to bring in new ones.